individual students based on the requirement. Okay, so that's a brief about me. And now let's have a brief about the course curriculum and what the training is all about. Okay, so I hope like basic idea will be there. So as SAP Ariba, right? SAP Ariba module is basically more related from the sourcing and procurement purpose, like the supply chain of any company. So it's a cloud application. Cloud application means like you can access this SAP Ariba portal. This is how, like, I hope you guys have seen it, but not. So this is how the Ariba portal looks like, SAP Ariba. And for accessing this one, you just need a URL, internet and login and password. So it's not like something like the normal ERP systems where you need to have Citrix or something like that way. It's a cloud application, like the way you access your Gmail, Facebook, like those things. So simply you can access it. There's no hardware requirement or something specific, just a simple desktop, laptop. You can access it anywhere. Okay. So this is SAP Ariba. Now the name, as you see this, SAP Ariba. So earlier SAP Ariba was a separate organization. SAP bought it in 2012, and then onwards SAP is selling this product under the name of SAP Ariba in the market. Okay. Now SAP Ariba is a application, cloud application, more supporting any company's procurement or the sourcing or the supply chain process, right? So that's how it is, this one. Now, if you see this way, SAP Ariba is bifurcated on a broader level. If you see, right, SAP Ariba is bifurcated between two streams, upstream and downstream. Even if you go into the market, you check in the market and all, you will find like these kind of jobs will be there that people will ask you like, have you worked on upstream? Have you worked on downstream? Or they will ask you specific module name. Have you worked on sourcing module, contract management module, procure to pay module, like that way. So SAP Ariba consists of various modules. So in our training, in this course content, we will be covering up these modules. One is a sourcing module. Then we have a contract management module and SLP, and a small brief about the spend. So these things are basically from the upstream. These modules are considered as a upstream modules. Whereas we have the downstream, this is downstream, where we have our procure to order, invoice management, or if you merge both of them, it will become a complete procure to pay, P2P. You would have heard of in the market that this is the module. And then we have a catalog management module. And these are some common, which is common for both upstream and downstream. So these modules are there. Customer buy these modules based on their requirement. Like customer is facing some issues related to the negotiation. Like he's thinking that in their company, the buyers, the people who are buying the material, they are not doing a negotiation on a very good level, right? In that scenario, you can go for buying a sourcing module, because in this one we have auctions and all those things, right? So this way you can use it. This is how like company generally buy these things. If someone wants to have some more process oriented, like they want to streamline their process of creating a PR, PO, GR in the system, they can buy a procure to pay module. So this is how the customer buy this SAP Ariba module, and based on that, you will be doing the implementation, integration, and user jobs. So these are the work that a functional consultant, Ariba functional consultant, do in the SAP Ariba for a customer. Okay, the complete list, the detailed list of the course content. So this is the course content detailed list. I hope everyone will be having this one. So these are the topics. The same, I just kept it here in the brief for the presentation purposes. Otherwise, it's the same. This is the course content, which this you can refer in here, right? So here you can see this Ariba introduction, SLP module, upstream. So what all these things will be covering up in here: contract management, contract compliance, downstream, reporting, integration, overview. So wherever it is overview, it will be a brief. And administration, core administration, template creation. So this is how we have 12 topics. The 12th one is like more on a documentation. 11 topics are the core ones, which we are going to cover in our this course. Okay. So these are the modules which we'll be covering up, and the training will be a complete workshop. So I'll give you idea that the training that I provide is basically a complete, you can say it's a complete workshop. There will not be any kind of a theoretical knowledge or something. I will be showing you each and everything on this system here. Okay. And the training I provide is more from a there are two perspectives from there. One, end user. First, how to use this tool. If someone is asking you to create a sourcing project, create a contract, or create something see this here, creating a contract workspace, management, RFI, RFP, procure to pay, how you do that. So that is a job of an end user. So you should be having a good knowledge of the system also, so that you will be able to find out what all functionalities are there in the system. Like if any customer will be asking you whether your system can do this or that. So you will be having the good knowledge. If you know how the thing system works, you can explain that thing, right? So one aspect is end user. The second aspect is the implementation. For example, your company just bought this Ariba module from SAP Ariba, and now they want it to be configured or set up based on their own requirement, right? Based on their own setup. So that is known as implementation, where you need to set up the system, like where the data is coming. Like we have creating a contract or sourcing project or something. So all that information comes into the data, right? That data is coming. So that data we need to maintain in the system. Lot of configuration, lot of templates, approval flow, designs, conditions. So teams, groups, lot of things are there, right? So those things we need to set up here in the system. So for example, if you see regions, these things are details are coming from where? Anything is specific in here. Or you can say these are the templates. These templates are coming from where? So these are all part of the implementation job. So generally that whenever any customer buy this Ariba, then the Ariba, as a functional consultant, you need to set up that information. Then you need to set up all those things into the system, right? So this is basically the job of the implementation. And the third one comes if you are going to integrate your Ariba system with any third-party system. So here you can see this is the basic architecture. So this is your Ariba sourcing, contract, SLP, and all. These are your downstream modules. They are connected with any other ERP system. So that's a different, see, that is a very advanced area where once you have a good knowledge of SAP Ariba system and all those things, then you can work more on an integration perspective. But the idea is that if you are there, you should have the good knowledge of the Ariba system and how to configure it. Okay, how to configure it. So these are the things which we'll be covering up. You can see here, this is all the Ariba modules that we will be covering up in our training. Okay, so I'll just give a brief also the course content. So here, if you go this one. So in this one, if you see here, from the upstream, let me just give a brief about the upstream perspective, what all we will be covering up. Here in this one, first of all, you see this here, we will be covering up how to create RFI, request for information, RFP, auctions, reverse auction forward, how to create, right? These auctions and all those RFPs and these things, how you are going to create in the system as an end user. Because if you work on SAP Ariba, people will ask, can you create a auction for us? Reverse auction, forward auction, what is the meaning, significance, everything. Okay. Then you have a create template. So if you see here, how to create a template, templates. From an upstream perspective, template creation is the most important job of a implementation team. If you know how to set up a template, how to configure a template in the system, you can say your half of the job is done. Template creation is the most important part from the upstream side. So we will be covering up in detail. So you can see for each module, there is a template creation is there. So we need to set up these templates and I'll show you all those in a very detail. Then approval flow. Same approval flow, you can have it here at the sourcing module also, approval flow at the contract management level also, and SLP level also. So I'll be covering up that thing also here in the under all these modules. right? Other thing than this one, contract management. So we'll be covering up both. Contract management is little tricky because it's a mix of upstream and downstream. So here, if you see this contract management, this is upstream and this is contract management downstream. So sometimes people call it Ariba contract compliance, where we need to create terms. So it's little tricky part, but we'll be covering up both in detail. Okay. Then we have the SLP also here in this one, supplier lifecycle and performance management, which is like how to onboard your suppliers, right? Onboard, like how you add those suppliers on your Ariba network. So that is SLP. Then we have a small topic of reporting also, spend visibility, like how you can run our reports and all. So these are the things which we'll be covering up from a upstream perspective. Same way we have downstream modules. We'll be covering up all these things in detail, like how to create a PR in Ariba, how the PO get generated in Ariba, performing a goods receipt, GR, receipt, good receipt, GR in Ariba. Then how you can post an invoice in Ariba, then invoice reconciliation, and finally, okay to pay. So this is mix of both, right? You can say like some customer buy only this module, procure to order. They just create a PR and PO in Ariba. Rest all these things happens in the other system. So both things I'll be showing you here in detail. So invoice management module. So why I kept them separately? Because customer have the access to choose. Like they are not mandated to buy the complete module. They can just buy individual modules also. It's not mandated to buy complete suite. If any customer just want to buy sourcing, they just buy one sourcing module. If someone wants to just buy a procure to order module, they can only buy P2P module. So it's always with the customer. So that flexibility is there. So that is why I have kept them separately. So we'll be covering up those informations in here. Then we'll be covering up on the catalog management also. And then we have the core admin and admin. These are things basically from the which are common in both upstream and downstream. And we have the CIG here also, Ariba Network and CIG. So I'll be covering up the brief about the overviews, transaction tracker, and all those things from the middleware. CIG is nothing but a middleware system. So that's a brief about this one. This is how like the training will be conducted, and this is how we will be like covering up the complete course, right? So this is basic in here. Then you have these. This is the module. Here you can see all the same modules in here: sourcing, contract, supplier management, invoicing, procurement. So most of the, like this is a test site. You can see it's written here. It's a test site. So this is our demo system where we can have like all these things we can test and practice and all, and I can show it here. Okay, so here I will be showing you each and everything, how to perform all those activities on this system. Okay. Clear? Anyone have any questions, any queries? Please. You can go ahead.
Hi, this is Srijan. Hi,
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I have 9 years plus experience in procurement. I have two questions. One is,
Okay.
we shall be given access to the demo system, right, for practice and all?
Yes, that will be given to you.
Okay. And one more thing, in the sourcing, when we are creating RFI and RFP, that would be an integrated system, right? PR will be created in S4HANA, then the sourcing will be conducted in Ariba, right?
No. So it's this system is like, see, that's what I'm saying. This system is from the Ariba perspective only.
Okay. The RFP is also created in Ariba only. We don't use any S4 HANA. We don't use in any of the steps, right?
Right. We will not be using any S4 HANA and all those things in here.
Oh, okay, fine.
Right. So this is, see, as I said, like, see, this is a core training from SAP Ariba side. So generally what happens is, if you have an integration, so simply like you need to set up an integration once and that the data flows. Right. So, but how you are going to create it is from the scratch in Ariba. That is what we will be covering up here in the. So this is a core training from SAP Ariba perspective. Okay. So we will be covering up all this information from like, so here I will be creating the sourcing project in here and all. So that if your system is integrated, that data will come here and it will create as a sourcing request, and then same data will get replicated as a sourcing project.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we are focusing here more on the SAP Ariba platform. And these are the things which we'll be covering up. You can refer this. I hope you guys have gone through this one. It's like here, upstream, how getting starting Ariba sourcing, creating the events, template creation, setting up the approval flow, what is a serial approval parallel, advanced features, awarding scenarios, creating contract from a sourcing, full cycle of bidding process, bidding rules, supplier invitation, all those things will be there. Okay. So this is more on this from the Ariba side. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. Will we speak about the catalogs also?
Yes, yes. We will be also having some catalog view here. So like we will be covering up like how you can have like what are the catalogs, basic normal standard catalogs and the punch out catalogs. How we maintain the CIF file, the CXML file and all those things. I will be showing you that one also. The validation rules on the catalog, how you can set up the validation rules of it. Then you have that the restrictions like who can access the catalogs and all those things. So that will also be shown in here. How you create a normal catalog, PR catalog, non-catalog items and all those things. That will also be covered in this one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Supplier risk management is also covered, right?
No, supplier risk is not there because see, this is a demo system. So that risk module is not set up properly. That is why risk we have not covered. Like if you see here in our course content also, the risk module is not maintained.
Yeah,
like,
I have seen that.
Yes. So I have seen this is why I have designed this course curriculum. This is mostly from the perspective that what all things we have in detail, I will be showing you, right? Wherever the things which are not there, see this. Understand here, like Ariba do not provide any legit system, integrated system in market to test, like to practice on these things, right? So that is the reason like we have these test sites here. So some restrictions are there. Based on that one only, that course curriculum has been designed, because whatever I have mentioned in here, I will be showing you each and everything on the system. So there will be no theoretical or something like I'm going to tell you in the like just theoretically. Everything I will be, and you guys will be part of this one. Like it's a workshop. I will be creating you guys as a supplier. So I will be showing you everything here as a buyer side, and you guys will be working as a supplier along with me, so that you can understand the complete cycle. So if you guys, I hope you have a little idea about this one, right? So here, if you open, this is the worldwide supplier access portal for Ariba, supplier.ariba.com. This is a standard portal of Ariba for suppliers, separate, right? See here, I'm going to access this. Just put supplier.ariba.com. See this here, this is the supplier side. So this is a specific portal for suppliers only worldwide. And this is the portal for buyers, right? So in any procurement environment, what you need to, the main two pillars of any supply chain process, like one is buyer, another is supplier, right? So this is buyer side, which I will be showing you guys, and you will be guys working along with me as a supplier. So you guys understand the complete cycle, like what you are asking from a supplier and what supplier is responding to you. So that you will be able to see the complete cycle. Like if I'm going to conduct any sourcing projects and all, right, there are RFPs and all, you guys will be participating in that one as a supplier. Same for the auctions, same for contract. So like when we start the course, I will be in the initial classes, I will be adding you guys as a supplier here via this SLP. So it will be a workshop where you guys need to also walk along with. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. So current system. So I'll just give a brief about the system also. So this is a parent realm. So here we have a setup like a parent and child. So parent is like we have upstream modules in here. And if you click in here, you will be going into the child realm. See when you can see in here. So child realm here is set up here for the downstream module. under the child one realm. So it's a setup, like it's I'll explain when once more in detail when we discuss, like start the classes. Parent and child realm setup is there. Generally, you will find this is to the most of the customer, and child is like in this one you will be having downstream related options. So like for example, create a requisition, PR creation, invoice creation, right? All those things you will be able to create in the downstream. So here, this is a purchase requisition. We create a PR in the Ariba system. So this is your requisition where we need to approve. So this approval flow is coming from where? How we can set up this approval flow. All those things we'll be covering up in very detail. Right? This is the line item we have added. How this data is coming in the, like from where this data is coming, the pricing, the purchasing org, the material group, commodity code, these accounting data, cost center and all, how we maintain this data in the system, where we load this data, how we update this data. So all those things will be covered in detail once we have to like gone through the training, we'll go through the training and complete the particular modules. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So you can go through like, so this is like everything is mentioned in here, right? The supplier creations and all those things, what all we are going to handle via the, here you can see this template creations, setting up bidding rules, condition setup, approval rule setup, task assignment, approval flows. All those things are mentioned in here, creation, delegation. So this is admin and core admin is basically the main forte for the implementation team. End users will not be having access to the admin and core admin. So if you are going to work as an administrator, like if you are going to work as a functional consultant to any customer or in your own organization, then you will be taking care of these things. End users will be coming, like they will be saying like, we are not able to do this, we are facing this concern, these issues are there and all. You will be, as a functional consultant, needs to handle those queries and resolve it. So resolving, like you will be having the access of these configurations, you will be changing these configurations, updating the templates, changing the approval flows and all. So that is your job. Okay. So everything is there. You can just go through this again one more time, understand this one. So these are all the topics that we will be covering up in our course curriculum. Okay. Clear? Okay, so that's all from my side. If you guys have any questions from any like on the course topic, timeline, anything specific, you can reach out to me, or like you can reach out Srijan there. They will like guide you further on this one. Okay.
Hi, Jaykumar, can I know the course schedule and duration, like timings and all?
Yeah, so the course duration is around, I think this is around, like, see, roughly takes around 25 to 27 hours. It's an hourly basis, right?
Okay.
So see, this is all about depending upon that, how good you are able to grasp. As I said, it's a workshop. So I'm more focused on the course content rather than on a timing. If you are able to understand something in a one go, might be able to finish it up a little early also, couple of hours early also. But if you need some more time to understand the same thing, I need to repeat those things and all, it might take a couple of hours more also. So I'm not much concerned about the timing. I'm more concerned about the completing all the topics that have been mentioned in the curriculum with your satisfaction. Like you should be saying, yeah, I'm comfortable, I got the understanding of this module and all. If you are okay with that one, then I'll say like, yeah, this is completed. So it's not hard and fixed, the timings are, but approximately it's around 25 to 27 hours generally it takes. And we can have like 1 hour or 2 hour classes on a weekend basis. That's how we can do it, because I think everyone is working professional. So managing the time on a weekday basis is a little tough, but still we can find out. I think for timing, you can also discuss this with Srijan. He will, like, he's the current new batch, he's to set up for the new batch. So in that one, he can try to find out the timing according to all the students.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Like how one more thing, like how a procurement specialist can switch his career into consultant using Ariba like full-time Ariba consultant, like working in a software company or anything like that. Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely. So that's why I said the implementation. So implementation part is more of a consulting job only, right? So where you
I
will be
have worked in Ariba for 3 years, like I'm the end user. So
okay,
for
and
me,
use.
there won't be any problem to switch my career from a specialist to Ariba functional consultant, right?
Right, absolutely. See this after this training. I'll give you a brief, like very fair on this one. After the
Okay.
training, you will
Okay.
get the idea that what generally the implementation team does.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
as I said, Ariba is it's a tool. Basically, it requires more of a practice because when any customer buy, every customer will be having their own configuration setup, like their own requirement. Okay, so the configuration template designing, especially the template designing and all will never be the same for each customer. The basics is same, but for example, if I say like approval flow, if you see this approval flow here, like in this one, right? Where is that? Like this approval flow. So one customer might be having 3 people in the approval flow. Another customer might be having 3 people here and 3 people here parallel.
Okay.
Okay, so the configuration, like the basic idea of designing the approval flow is same, but the conditions, the configuration, the requirement for each customer will always be different. So it's a customized tool. Like the tool needs to be customized, the configuration needs to be customized based on the each and every customer. So after the training, you will get the hold of all these information, but you need to have a lot of practice. Like once you start working on the actual projects, you will get more of the confidence. But after the training, you can say like you will be getting the hold of these things. Like if someone asking you to do some small changes or if they want you to prepare a simple approval flow, and you will be able to do it.
Okay.
Okay, but rest, as I said, it will be more of a practice thing. But yes, after the training, you'll not be like, if someone says like, can you change this node and put someone different person in here, or you make this serial approval flow as a parallel. So that kind of you can say the proficiency you will get after this training. You cannot lead, very frankly speaking, you cannot sorry you cannot lead a team of Ariba consultant after the training. Please be very clear. I'm very clear in this one. You can work in a team. If you think like after this training you will become a pro, like you will become champion or excellent, that will not happen. It will take time. Guys, can someone be on mute? I think someone is speaking in between. Okay, so please have your expectations clear on this one. After the training, you can work as a team member for implementation under the consultant only. Like you can join as a consultant somewhere in any organization or within your organization, and you can do all the basics or like small configurations and all. You can create templates also. So it's all depends upon how good you do the practice. And once you get a chance, so you can implement the same things in your real environment. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, if you don't mind. I just need to ask, what is the average of the duration of consulting in Ariba in each project?
Average for, sorry, come again?
The duration, the timing within ambition of implementing Ariba within a company. Is it short? Is it long?
Yeah, it's like, see, okay, so the standard timeline which is given by SAP itself, 26 weeks for downstream module implementation, for implementation of your downstream, this one downstream module. Okay, that is 26 weeks. For upstream, it's 22 weeks. Okay, that is a standard timeline given by SAP Ariba for implementation, but generally it takes little bit, couple of months more, like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks more generally. Also, it depends upon how big is the company's data. If it is a big company, then there will be a lot of data, a lot of changes, a lot of configurations will be there. It might take more time also. But if you are just implementing for a small organization which does not have so much data, not having so many customization, in that scenario, it might take some little less time. But standard, if you say average, 26 weeks for downstream modules, 22 weeks for the upstream modules. Okay.
Yes. And what is the exact link and duties when a company implements SAP Ariba? Has it like a support team from SAP that works with the consultant, or the consultant is alone, standing alone with the project implementing the Ariba? How it works?
Okay, see this here. When first of all, when the customer buy this Ariba platform, right? They will be also having a they will be also having a separate contact with some implementation team also. Someone will be implementing that one. So the implementation team job is basically that they will be doing all these configuration, but along with that one, as it's a cloud application, lot of changes you cannot do into the system on your own. You need to take help. You need to reach out to SAP Ariba itself. Okay. And once you do the implementation, when you start the implementation project, SAP Ariba assigns a project manager and a technical consultant from their side, or a functional consultant, who will help you out during the implementation phase. Okay. If I give you an example like this way, if you see here, for example, you want here one more field here. After the title, you want one more field here, subtitle. Just assume that example, right? Your customer says, I want one more field here. After the title, I want one more field, that is subtitle field. Now, this subtitle field you cannot add on your own. For this one, you need to reach out to SAP Ariba. Only SAP Ariba will be able to add this field. Okay, so these kind of things is there, which I will be also like during the call. I'll keep on explaining these things to you, that what you can do, what you need, when you need to reach out to SAP Ariba and all. So there are some things which our implementation consultant or the functional consultant from the implementation team can do, but some of the things are there which we have a restriction, and for that we need to reach out to SAP Ariba. Sometimes also we get a situation where the requirement of the customers are there, but that is completely not possible in Ariba. Even Ariba team itself says this feature is not there in Ariba platform. So there, in those scenarios, either you need to convince that customer that this is not possible, we cannot do this, or you need to find a workaround. If this cannot be done this way, can we do this that way? So that is what sometimes the implementation consultant's job is, to give the consultation to the customer, guide them, the customer also, what is the best practices going in the market. If customer is asking something which is not much relevant, then as a consultant, it's your job to guide them that this is what the standard practice in the market, more better approach is there. Please go through with this one. Okay, so it's a mix. You need to also, as an implementation team, you need to also demo the system to the customer, make them understand what this tool can do, what this tool cannot do, the fit gap analysis and all. You need to do it because you will be presenting the system in detail to the customer. Then customer will ask, can you do this? Can this system will be able to use like this and that and all? So they will be asking those questions to you, and you need to answer those questions. So that is why I said, if you know the system from a end user perspective also very well, you will be able to answer the questions of your customers then and there. For example, your customer says, can you create this approval, like this approval flow? Can I approve this before this? Can this person approve this? Like this person can approve before this. So you can only answer this when you actually have worked on this as an end user. If you have a knowledge of end user, like, yes, this person cannot approve until and unless this person gets approved by this person. So those kind of things, because see, this customer will always ask the questions from the end user perspective, right? Their requirement should get fulfilled. If their requirement is not getting fulfilled, then it's no use for them, right? So these are the things are there. This is how the questions comes, and the implementation team job is to satisfy and answer these questions. Okay, so yes, we need to work, like implementation team has to work along with the SAP Ariba team. SAP Ariba team assigned the consultant, a project consultant from their side also, till the time it went like go live, like the go live happens, right? So they support that part. There's a hypercare also, which is after go live 2 weeks. SAP Ariba will also be there along with you in case any issues are coming, something is not working as expected, they will also support you. Okay.
Okay. In case the company needs like a kind of interface, so using API with the big supplier, is it something handled by the consultant or by the technical team?
Like PI with any other ERP system you are referring?
Yes, the ERP system from supplier, for example. Yeah.
No, not supply. Like if you are integrated, okay, you are referring to this this phase. Like here, you can see this. This is a supplier. The supplier is connected via Ariba network to our SAP Ariba platform.
Right. Yeah.
So this is not with PI. Like see, this is Ariba network. Suppliers are always connected with your Ariba network, but your ERP system, this ERP system can be connected via PI or like your CIG or any other tools are there in middleware system. So see, CIG is nothing but it's a middleware system, very simple. Okay, and you can see this here, like this is how, so it's like this way. If I just give you a brief about this one, right? Wait a second. So here you can see like you have SAP Ariba at one end, then you have your middleware system. That is your middleware. Okay, it could be anything. It could be your CIG or your CPI, Dell Boomi, iPass. There are a lot of middleware systems. CIG is a Ariba like SAP tool, so that's why Ariba push it more. Otherwise, there's no foundation. You can use any other middleware system also. It's upon custom. And then you have your ERP. Take an example like here you can say SAP Ariba is there. Then you have middleware system. You can say like CIG. And then you can say your ERP system is S4H. Right? So now what happens in this case? In here you need basically when you are working on an integration project, you need to have three people from 3 different teams should be work together. One, SAP Ariba team. SAP Ariba team consists of your functional consultant, right? Or you can say techno-functional consultant. Then you have a middleware team that is known as integration team. You need an integration consultant for this. Then you have ERP team. ERP means whatever the ERP system is there, you need the ABAPer developer of that team. If you are implementing HANA, related to HANA developer, ABAPer is required. If you are implementing Oracle, you need Oracle consultants are there. Same way, whatever the ERP system you are integrating, that resources of that technical ERP system you need to have in the team. So these 3 teams work together. And this is like, if I give an example, like what happens is in SAP Ariba. SAP Ariba understand the language of CXML. Ariba understand, like if you are communicating with Ariba system, the language will be always CXML. Whereas if you communicate with HANA, the language is IDOC. Right? Now, in this case, you can understand here, right? IDOC, if you are sending any information from ERP system to Ariba, Ariba cannot read IDOC. Right? So this IDOC needs to be converted into a CXML. This is what happens in the middleware. Right? Yeah. So take an exam, right? So this is what happens. So this is why I set up here bidirectional. the data flows both ways. Ariba sends CXML, it get converted into IDOC and sent to the HANA. IDOC comes from there, it will get converted into XML and it comes to the Ariba system. So integration is different.
Yeah, it's the same case when P2P process is not all included in Ariba. Like a part of it is included in Ariba, and the other part, like good receipt or payment, is included in SAP, for example, or any other software, right?
Right. So both ways. So that is why I say, like, see here, you can see this one I mentioned, right? This one first. Sometimes what customer do is they just buy only this PR to PO. So what happens in this one? Customer create a PR in Ariba. The PO will get generated in Ariba. After that, the PO number will get transferred. The PO number will get transferred to your ERP system.
Right.
And then the customer, what he will do is he will post the GR and he will do the invoicing in the ERP system.
ERP, yeah.
So that's why I mentioned it separately. So based on customer to customer, both ways you can do it. This one also possible. Or if you want to do the GR, invoice, everything in Ariba, that is also possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I kept it separately, both, just to explain that understanding from the understanding perspective that you can do both ways. Even customer can only buy the invoice management module also. Okay, so both the things are possible and up to the customer, how they want it. Based on that one, you can choose it. Okay.
Okay, clear. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions? Okay. So that's all from my side, guys. If you have any other questions, any things in Ali, other queries and all, so please reach out to Srijan, and then we'll continue further. Like if required, we'll have another call, or you can take a call accordingly and we can start the session. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.